What is happening, people, and welcome back. If you want to be the smartest person in the room, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now because today we are digging into a political story that is absolutely bonkers.
You know, while everyone's focused on the presidential race, there is a huge problem brewing for Democrats, like right under the surface. And the big question is this a problem big enough to reshape American politics for years to come? The data suggests a massive, flashing yes.
And this is the line that set off all the alarm bells. A huge investigation from the New York Times found a trend so bad they called it a deep political hole for the party. So, what in the world did they find?
Okay, let's jump right into the raw data, because honestly, these numbers are staggering.
Now, you did not hear that wrong. Between 2020 and 2024, in every single state that actually tracks this stuff, Republicans gained ground on Democrats in voter registration. Not in a few states, not in most of them, all of them. That's not just a trend, my friends. That's a political tidal wave.
So losing ground sounds a little vague, right? Let's put some actual numbers on this. How bad is the damage?
4.5 million. Let that sink in. That is the total net swing in voter registration over to the Republican side in just a few short years. That's the hole they're in. And it is a massive, massive deficit to try and overcome.
And look, this isn't just happening in states that are already solidly red or blue. This is happening where it counts the most. We're talking about the key swing states that decide who becomes president. Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, all of them saw their Democratic voter rolls shrink. And maybe the most shocking part is what's happening with younger voters. Back in 2018, Democrats were crushing it, getting 2/3 of new voters under 45. But fast forward to now, the whole script has flipped. More than half of those new young voters are registering as Republicans. That is an insane turnaround.
Okay, the numbers are clearly brutal. But the real question is why? What is going on here? Well, the investigation points to two giant, separate problems.
Think of it like a war on two fronts. On one side, you have the machine, which is basically a breakdown in the party's nuts and bolts operations. On the other side, you have the vibe, a full-blown identity crisis with the party's brand. Let's start with the machine.
And just to be clear, this isn't about feelings or perceptions. We are talking about a real, fundamental failure of the basic mechanics of how a political party is supposed to work.
So here's the deal. For years, the Democratic Party basically handed off the super important job of signing up new voters to other outside groups. And, well, it turns out that was a huge mistake. The analysis shows those groups just haven't been getting the job done.
So you're probably thinking, why don't they just fix it themselves? Well, follow the money, or in this case, the lack of it. At the end of last year, the Republican National Committee was sitting on over $84 million. The Democratic National Committee, they had less than $14 million. It is really hard to build a high-tech machine when you've got no gas in the tank.
All right, now for problem number 2. And this one might be even tougher to fix. This isn't about money or voter lists. This is all about the vibe.
The hard truth is that the Democratic Party brand is just not cool right now. Poll after poll keeps showing the same thing. The party's favorability ratings are circling the drain, right near historic lows. Simply put, people just aren't feeling it. So what does that mean in the real world? Well, it's simple. When a brand is unpopular, nobody wants to wear the merch. In politics, that means new voters, especially young ones, are looking at the Democratic Party and basically saying, yeah, no thanks, I don't really want to be part of that club.
So, you've got a broken machine and a broken brand. That sounds like game over, right? A total recipe for disaster? Well, maybe not so fast.
Here's the crazy twist. There is this one incredibly powerful force in politics: history. And for, forever, history shows that whichever party holds the White House gets absolutely clobbered in the midterm elections. So that historical trend could actually be a huge gust of wind at the Democrats' backs in 2026.
But here's the catch. Even if history bails them out for one election cycle, it doesn't actually fix anything. The report is crystal clear. The party is facing deep structural problems with both its operations and its brand, and there is no quick fix for that. So that's where we're at. Is this just a slump that history will automatically correct, or are we watching a major political realignment happen in real time? I want to know what you think. Drop your theories in the comments below. And hey, if you feel a little smarter, do me a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. I'll catch you on the next one.